Well, morning, you sleep deprived and emotionally deprived zombies. What's going on, guys? Weaver, John C., Rosie, Monday, California. It's the first day of July, and it is Friday, 2022. It's 30 minutes after midnight. And no, I am not screaming, I want more, more, more. I'll tell you that much. I've been on the social feeds again, concerning about the grieving situation. And then it just dawns on me that I have to keep telling people about what's been going on, why the channel here is it is. Some people may not get it, and they probably consider me long winded. I know there's other posters out there, other YouTube creators, as they call themselves. They want to try to get some kind of profiteering of some sort, a recognition. Well, the thing is, I need some more water in it. Ew. Gatorade punch. Yeah. Dealing with grieving is dealing with mental health issues at this point over here because it's lumped into it. There may be some discussions among the medical and the psychological community out there, but let them do it anyway. For me, I know from my own personal experience, it's all wrapped up into one. So, I have been dealing with multiple issues ever since I've been born, but everyone just kept denying the damn thing. It gotten up to a head when I lost my brother back in 2018, and realizing I couldn't deal with another loss of life in my family that I cared deeply and passionately about, that I just decided I was going to break down and just try to figure the stuff out. I got tired of being an emotional Superman. Everyone depending upon old Johnny Boy for support. Well, Johnny Boy needed a hell of a lot of open head and can't even talk right this evening. Help would be the word. But nobody was there to help me out a bit. I mean, yeah, to help me out regarding the mortuary, doing the crematorium. It was very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. And I had a few people trying to get me in, at least for a couple of weeks, into different support group meetings to deal with my issues. And then afterwards, poof. Everyone else has their own issues to deal with. They have to deal with life on their own issues. I don't get the constant feedback I needed. So I had to continue to do audio recordings to talk about my thoughts and my feelings, and they usually get buried alive like the worms they are. When I die, hopefully they'll be resurrected and people will understand where the hell this lunatic was coming from. But the videos, I decided to be put out there on YouTube to help me with my memories, but also to tell my life story. I kept realizing that every time there had been a suicide out there, one way or another, they never told them their life story leading up to the point where they made that final step, that final journey, whatever they would want to call it. The final frontier. No, I'm not looking forward to the final frontier. I've been there, done that. Thank you very much. Scares the hell out of me. When you're age 4 years old and dealing with open heart surgery, it's the most terrifying thing an experience a kid can go through. Afterwards, accidents would just normally scare the hell out of me and numb me up a bit. But then again, how am I supposed to be dealing with life? I'm supposed to be sucking it up. I'm supposed to be dealing with it because society and everybody else tells me to. Have to be strong. Can't be a wimp. Can't be a whiner baby. Because the older generation could not deal with whiner babies. Oh, they dealt with their own issues and they dealt with the issues that their previous generations before them had dealt with. Yes, there had been the Great Depression. Yes, there had been great wars happening. We had soldiers going out there as boys and coming back as body bags or zombies in a way. Emotionally deprived zombies. Damn flies. They couldn't process, and nobody else could help them out on some occasions. But if they actually had help, it wasn't exactly the ones they were looking for in the first place. Just, just stuff that doctors would just barely get through. How would a doctor be able to get through that level of PTSD that people had gone through? But have they ever gone through the people that are still killing themselves to this day? You know, we'd hear almost every single day somebody trying to kill themselves left and right, trying to post it or even trying to say it one way or another. There'll be an accident at the tracks. There'll be an accident on the freeway. There'll be a shooting going on. Somebody in so much pain or so much misery at one point decides to go out with a bang, usually by someone else's artillery. Or the pain of the grievers so damn badly that they can't even deal and cope with the violence that's taking out their people left and right. They're taking out their loved ones. How are they supposed to deal with it? I'm reading these things online, and we hear the stories after they're gone. But has anybody done the stories before it happened? How did they live their lives? What led up to the point of either the involuntary departure or the voluntary departure? I'm more concerned about the voluntary departure at this point over here. Just what made them decide? What was the point in the pain level that they had to decide that they had to go? And the thing is, the people who haven't walked that path don't know the pain, don't know the grieving, don't know the mindset, unless you've already done it yourself or damn near came close to it. Only thing is, I kept flip-flopping it throughout my growing lives. I was getting sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was scared to death of anything and everything. I couldn't live life. I didn't know how to live life. I couldn't even have a relationship. You kidding me? I had a wonderful young woman who wanted to be my girlfriend, wanted to be my wife. I couldn't even feel anything for her because I didn't even realize I was still screwed up in my damn head. I didn't even know it. But nobody actually caught on to the damn thing in the first place. Until maybe there had been little episodes here and there that might tell people I just might have a little bit of a problem. And 30 minutes of time each 2 weeks doesn't exactly help much. Unless, of course, you keep paying the shrinks that much money trying to get yourself into that situation. Or maybe trying to go to different support groups and you're trying to find the answers and you can't even find them there. Just more questions on it, doing it. Meanwhile, you're desperate for the answers. You'll cling on to anybody who's got even a hint of one, or even a little bit of a whiff, a waft, wispy thing in the air. You want a solution real bad that God can't even give it to you, and you feel like screw it. So you take that final path, and then you're gone. Or maybe if you made a decision not to do that, you're scrolling through books and you're scrolling through theologies, you're scrolling through religious manuscripts trying to find the answer why. I have lost so many of my family and friends throughout my life that I had to grow callous and unemotional, and it hurt like hell. When I lost my brother, that was it. That wasn't the straw that broke my back. That was the straw that put the camel into a taxiderm. Just stuffed. I couldn't figure out the reasons why until I had to go back in my head, in my mind, and try to put myself into the positions of both my mother and my brother and tried to figure them out. I lived with my mother all my life. One would think I'd know her very well. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't know her all that much. She didn't allow herself to be all that warm and open about her family history, except maybe to my brother, who had been more and more quote unquote mature, that they would share the laughs. And then I would hear the replay from my brother. I wish I'd known the stories of how Ma was growing up, really, and what she was going through, especially when it came down when she started losing her mother and then everybody else afterwards that she cared about, and how much the pain hit her. How much of it had finally made her succumb to stay in bed for a few years before she passed away and just willed herself to death. We're always stuck with these kind of questions, and we always are trying to come up with the answers and solutions unless we know the feelings inside ourselves and equate it with the people that we understand. Sometimes we hit the mark, sometimes we don't. My brother had gone through a lot when he was in the Navy, between 76 through 83, 82, somewhere in there. He had walked through a lot. But granted, he had gone through more things than he signed up for. And only he was there for maybe supposedly a 4-year hitch. He screwed up that 4-year hitch because our core family was experiencing a lot of issues, such as a great aunt that we fell in love with a great deal. And when she passed away, my brother couldn't go to the funeral. Things he had to do in the Navy put him in a situation, and he chewed on that one. And then when he heard about, and Ma wrote to my brother about this one, when my grandmother, which was my mother's mother, got into a stroke situation, and Ma couldn't deal with it. David tried like hell, tried to push it back all the way to Washington. It didn't even take. So he did the dumbest damn mistake he could ever do. He tried to enlist help. He couldn't get the help. He decided screw it. He left for about nearly a year and a half until he had to go back to complete the rest of his tour of duty in the brig. And the most expedient way for him to get out was a bad conduct discharge, and he almost came close to becoming a non-citizen. But luckily enough, the attorney talked him into a bad conduct discharge. He came back home and helped out with Ma till Grandma died. And I know it was killing my Ma, physically and spiritually at this point, seeing her mother die like that. She had tried to be outspoken. She had tried to be enjoying things afterwards, but I remember some of the things that Robin Williams kept trying to tell people about the people in pain, tried to show more egregious, more active lifestyle, more fun because of the level of pain that they were experiencing. To paraphrase things. And honest to God, and right now I believe that. Because I know at times I'm doing the same thing too, lying about my own damn pain when it's there trying to kill me and kick my ass at the same time. You try having that. I'm coming across different posts where people are not sure what to do at this point over here. They're questioning themselves left and right. I'm not a guru in any of these damn things. I'm going through life experience. I'm 56 years old, coming up on 57 next year. Each year after my mama's death was getting harder and harder to deal with. I enlisted in school back in 2015 or 16, and I'm not done with it yet. I wanted to complete my college courses that I screwed up in over 30 plus years ago. But when I lost my big brother, things had changed, and so had priorities. But I still struggled on with college. It was one saving grace in my lifetime. But doing these videos and audio recordings are the other ones I do for myself. They help me to get the shit off my damn chest. They help me to get it into perspective. And sometimes I don't care if my language does get salty or not. I'll talk regular if I have to. Just to tell people, this is how it is. This is reality I'm dealing with right now. And that's all I can say about that one. Some days I can function, and other days I am not functioning. If I get an emotional trigger, and it'll happen, a code word, phrase, an action, a scene, something, and then I'll see something innocuous and it just boom. It's like you see the lightning in the sky and you're waiting for the thunder to scare the living crap out of you. Even though it was lightning in the sky, it was going to be starting the whole damn mess. What can I say? Lightning in the sky was the damn trigger and it hits me. And then the boom is I get the images and here comes the waterworks and here comes the squeezing of the chest, the heaving of the lungs, the heart asking itself, why is it still living? And the eyes are still leaking like crazy, and not to mention the nose as well doing the mucus thing. You know, you can go complete mess afterwards. Yeah, well, that's me. I'm telling it as it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat the stuff. This is reality check. Some days I can deal with it, and other days when I get into those kind of crying sessions, I am depressed as hell because I am tired. I am tired emotionally. I am tired physically. I'm tired spiritually. I know there have been times that I have been tempted so much of just even saying or praying to God, look, end it already. I had enough. I haven't had enough yet. I'm not ready to call it quits. But I know I'm getting my ass kicked. And I struggle with it. There is no medications for it. I struggle with it. I know physically I may be deteriorating. I struggle with it. I'm not trying to tell people how to live or what to live. But I am trying to tell them and give them experiences that I've gone through as examples of something they may find similar or not. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least I have my stuff recorded that maybe somehow down the line it may help. I don't know. Sometimes I get too damn lazy labeling these damn things the right way. But I do download them on YouTube. I just have to get through them all. The more recent ones, too. How I think and how I feel about certain days and certain holidays. How it kills me in the end. How I can't even enjoy a family holiday because my family is not here. And one of those words, those triggers, it's usually hugs, family hugs, pictures, images, words, even family. I see it, I read about it, it triggers me off. Then I'll see something innocuous, a picture, something about it, it just starts it off. Then I'm off to the races. That's how it is for me. That's how it is for me. I got no magic words to say, okay? I've got nothing that can probably help as much, except probably to understand what I'm going through, and maybe this will help somebody else understand what they're going to have to go through. And they may not like it. I'll tell you something, nobody likes it. It's not to be liked, it's to be gone through. When I'm able to communicate effectively to people, I used to have a full set of teeth here, and I was able to communicate it more effectively. But when I was actually able to communicate and effectively use words, sometimes I think I'm almost normal. For me, that is. I don't know what normal is for you. But if I can think it and I can talk about it, get it recorded one way or another, that's something. During nights like this, I'll get maybe about 2 hours, and then I have to hit the sack because the body's telling me so. The other things regarding the grieving process is how much energy it takes and how much of your sleeping cycle will be screwed over forever at this point. At least I know mine is. I don't take medications for that damn thing. Hell, I don't even take the over-the-counter melatonin for it. I don't trust drugs. But there are going to have to be drugs to take care of my blood pressure if need be, or for the hypertension if I've got any. And I wouldn't put it past myself to give myself that issue right there. I mean, I know my brother had suffered through heart attacks. My mother had too. She ever suffered through mini strokes, trans-ischemic attacks. My brother had as well. Oh, the family history has a lot of stuff in it, including diabetes to deal with, and obesity at times, addiction issues. I am not immune, but it doesn't mean I'm going out eating like crazy. Ever since Ma passed away, my sleeping issues have gotten worse and worse and worse. I used to do the 68. Now I'm lucky enough if I do 2 hours here, 2 hours there, maybe an hour over here, maybe an hour over there. And during the middle of the night, that's even worse. But I have to get this off my chest and I have to talk about it. It's important to me. And it may be important to somebody else out there. So at this point, I'm probably going to have to call it a night. Because I don't have a choice. I'm going to fall asleep here and have narcolepsy. I've done that. It scares the hell out of me. I can stare at the camera and just nod off for minutes on end. And it scares me when I do it for nearly an hour in a chair. And I'll wake up and it leaves me terrified as hell that I can't even get out of the damn chair for a few minutes because I'm still trying to assess whether or not I'm still alive or dead or asleep or awake. Narcolepsy is dangerous. So's insomnia. Sleep apnea is a different story altogether. And yes, you are saying bugs. I gotta get a Gatorade for these bastards. Get out of here, you. Go lay down. You son of a fucker. Some of the things I gotta deal with, you know. I'll talk to you guys later.